Welcome back to another episode of Followers of the Way. I'm your host, Jeremiah. And today we're going to talk about matter. Either you believe you matter or you believe you don't matter. So that's what we're going to talk about in today's episode. Definitely hit the subscribe button, the follow button, the share button. And if you like me, you like the content, you want to support what I do, definitely go out and get you a copy of my book called Who Do You Say I Am? And the companion, the study guide. Both can be found on Kindle, Amazon. I do leave a link at the bottom in the description, along with my email. A lot of you reach out, have any questions, concerns, want to build rapport, definitely send me an email. I am definitely here for you. So why are we called followers of the way? Because Old Testament, New Testament, the people of Yahuwah are not titled by labels. We are called to follow Yahusha because he's the way. Everything I talk about come by way of revelation. Why? Because Yahuwah is a revelation. With that, Father, give us eyes to see, ears to hear, and a mouth and a heart to understand what you are saying so that we may be able to speak truth. All right. I want you to ask yourself a question. I, Jeremiah, do I matter to me? It's about you, not people around you. Do you matter to yourself? And if so, what did that look like? And if you do find yourself matter, then that's good health. That's a really good health mindset. But there's a lot of us who look at ourselves like we don't matter. Here's an example. You want some water? I don't want any water either. I mean, you don't want no water, and I don't want to drink this water either. Does that mean that this water has no value? Does it mean that this water don't matter? Okay. Let's put the water over here. Now, these people are thirsty. So to these people that are thirsty, this water has a lot of value. And this water has a lot of matter. It does matter. So what do that tell you and I? Don't look at your environment and base your value. Don't look at your environment and come to an understanding that you matter or you don't matter. This water matters. And this water has a whole lot of value. In fact, I'm thirsty. Because this water matters. To who? To whoever sees the value. And if you don't see the value of this water, the water mattered to itself. If I cough, I apologize. Kind of got a situation going on here, I guess. I'm coughing a lot. But the water matter to itself. So be water, my friend. So a lot of people walk around today in a society where they feel like they don't matter. Not because they don't matter. It's because they are in an environment that make them feel like they don't matter. And when you're raised in an environment that make you feel like you don't matter, you begin to question yourself. I know I do. Do my voice matter? Do my presence matter? Do people believe in me? I'm in this relationship. Do it matter to them? I got this job. Do I matter to them? We start to base our value in the environment that we're in. And if the environment makes us feel like we matter, then we feel like we do matter. But when the environment change, we don't feel valued. That's called a mindset. That's what that's called. Because you mattering should only matter to self, no one else. It's not our job to go out there and sell ourselves and present ourselves in a way that we matter to other people. It's their job to look at me to say, hey, this guy matter. And if I don't matter to them, then I'm going to be like the water, and I'm going to put myself in an environment where people can look at me and say, you know what? You matter to me. Whether I matter to them or not, I matter to myself. And that's the mindset I want to talk about, because most people have an identity diffusion. When they look at their environment and they judge the weight of their value off their environment, that's called an identity diffusion. So when you're in a position where you are questioning your value, you feel rejected. And when you feel rejected, you become silent. And when you become silent, you feel like you're overlooked. And when you're overlooked, you tolerate things you should have walked away from a long time ago. And over time, you start to believe, I don't matter. What changed, sir, ma'am, believer? What changed? The environment changed you when you should change the environment. And if you can't change that environment, it's not a healthy environment for you to be in anyway. Now, that's a life lesson right there in itself. Let's talk about identity here. When you see yourself the way other people see you, then you are looking for validation. And if they don't see you the way you see yourself and you change, then you are changing for them. It's identity diffusion. It never ends well. When you do that, you begin to accept things you normally wouldn't accept. You begin to tolerate things you normally won't tolerate. You end up putting yourself in situations you would not end up putting yourself in a situation. Okay, let's say you're in a relationship. And in this relationship, you lost yourself, right? And you knew you should have walked away. And let's say you're at a job, and this job shows you nothing but disrespect. That's called an environment, right? You're still in that disrespectful job, toxic. You're still in this relationship where you completely lost yourself. Ask yourself at this moment, why? I'm going to tell you why. Because you came to an understanding within self. Your voice don't matter. How you feel don't matter. Your presence don't matter. And your needs don't matter. And when you are in that mindset, you will accept anything that anybody do for you because you don't believe in yourself. And you don't believe you matter. That's what happens when you are in a position where your environment affects who you are. Then psychologically, this is where the damage happens. The eternal damage happens. And sometimes eternal damage can be so bad, we start to see it externally too. And if you don't see it, people around us see it. So if you're in an environment where you feel like your voice, your presence, your feelings, your needs, doesn't matter, you begin to become an avoidant. You begin to withdraw yourself. You begin to become passive aggressive, where you just snap. You begin to seek approval from people because you're chasing self-validation. And that built fake confidence because you're insecure about yourself. Let me tell you, my friend, when you get to this position, you have completely lost yourself. I know a lot of people won't tell you that, but when you get into a position like this, you have lost yourself because deep down inside, you believe it. You believe your feelings. You believe you don't matter. You believe your presence doesn't matter. You believe you don't have a voice. You believe everything. And because you believe that, you tolerate everything that people give you, everything that happens to you. It's a mindset. It's a mindset. So you'll walk around through life, and let's correct it, feeling like you don't matter. Sometimes when we are in this situation, we begin to make decisions based on emotions, right? And when we make decisions that are based on emotions, two things happen. Pain, right? Pain. There's two types of pains. There's the pain of regret, right? Which lasts a lifetime. And there's temporary pain. Here's what I mean. I went to school for 4 years and I didn't like going to school for 4 years. I didn't. I got my degree and I'm happy I got my degree. I don't got to go to school no more. So going to school for 4 years, that pain was temporary. But that pain, I got growth, identity. I got self-success. That degree is mine. That's my success. Nobody can take from me. It was a painful 4 years, but I don't got to deal with that pain no more. So let's say you are in a relationship. You should have left a long time ago, but you stayed and it cost you everything. Now the relationship is over. Now you're sitting there by yourself thinking, telling yourself in pain, I should have left. Now that pain is going to last you a lifetime. That's called the pain of regret. This can only happen when we feel and believe we don't matter. That's the only time we can suffer from the pain, regret. Now, it's unavoidable at times. We got to go through it because it's going to teach us something. So there's two pains. Now, I want you to look at the foundation that our Alua Yahusha left us in the book of Luke, chapter 9, verse 5. He had 70 disciples. He sent them out. This is what he said. Whosoever will not receive you, shake off the very dust from your feet. He didn't say sit there and argue, debate, and chase these people. He said walk away. Why? Why walk away? Because we know who we are and we know that we matter. With or without them, we matter. With or without them, this gospel will go on. With or without them, we are going to save some lives. We're going to save some souls. Keep moving. We don't need their validation. We don't need their approval. We don't need their company. We don't need them to co-sign on what we're doing. We matter. Keep moving. You see the mindset of Yahusha? You see this mindset? Hey, I want you to follow me. I don't want to follow. Peace. I matter. I'm walking away. There's no pain or regret, and there's no temporary pain when you know you matter. It's a mindset. So let me give you some real life stories here, biblically, because I want to reach your heart. I want this to resonate with you. There's an individual in the Bible that go by the name Gideon. This is for people when you feel small, invisible, and unqualified. A lot of us go through life feeling like small. I don't matter. Invisible. Nobody sees me. I don't got the education or the skill set. I'm unqualified. I don't matter. So at that time in Israel's in a bad shape. There was at war. The enemy was taken from them. Gideon was hiding. He was barely getting by. He seen what was happening in Israel, but he said, I'm small. I don't know how to fight. Nope. I'm invisible. Nobody knows me. What can I do? But accept what is taking place. Environment. So here's Gideon. Gideon was just surviving. He was hiding. He was shrinking. He said, there's nothing I can do to help these people. So an angel came in the book of Judges, chapter 6, verse 12, to Gideon. And the angel of Yahuwah appeared unto him and said, Yahuwah is with thee, thou mighty man of valor. Gideon said, hold on. You said, who's with me? Yahuwah? And you calling me a mighty man of valor? He said, let me tell you something. I'm invisible. I don't feel mighty. I'm poor. I barely got food. I can't fight. I'm barely getting by. Israel's in trouble. And you telling me Yahoo is with me and I'm a mighty man of valor. No way. No way. Why did Gideon and why do you feel that way? The environment. You see how the environment shaped Gideon value? He's seen everything that was going on. He knew he was invisible. He knew he was poor. He knew he couldn't fight. He knew he couldn't do nothing. He shut his mouth. I don't matter. In fact, this is what Gideon said in the book of Judges, chapter 6, verse 15. And he said unto him, "Oh, my Adonai, do you see what's going on in Israel? And you think I can save Israel? My family is poor, and I'm the least of my father's house." That's deep. Gideon was basically saying, how can you say I am somebody when my family is poor? I came from little, and I'm the least in my family's house. Gideon was saying I'm a nobody, right? And that's what a lot of us say when we look at our environment. I'm a nobody. I don't got no money. I don't got no power. Nobody's looking at me. Nobody's checking in on me. How can I be mighty? What can I do to change this situation? Look at me. You hear the excuse? Yeah, it is an excuse. Look at me. I have nothing to offer. This is what Gideon was saying to the angel. And Yahuwah said, surely I will be with you. Judges 6:16. And Yahuwah said, surely I will be with thee, and thou shalt smite these enemies as one man. You see, even though the situation made Gideon and your situation make you feel like you don't matter, the way the Father looks at you and I differently than how we see ourselves. So the story goes on where Gideon said, hey, if all this is true, I need some proof. So if you read Judges 6, verses 36 to 37, he said, ask Yahuwah, make this wet. Make that right there, that rug, make it wet. He did it. He said, no, that was luck. Do it again. He did it. Gideon said, no, hold on. Do it one more time, then I believe. He made it wet 3 times. The Father did. Why did he do that? You may ask, right? He had to reshape the way Gideon sees himself. Because Gideon was seeing himself like he's a nobody. So he had to reshape the way Gideon sees himself. How did he do it? Through the identity of Yahuwah. He was showing Gideon, your identity is in me. Your strength is in me. Your provision is in me. Your deliverance is in me. Your power is in me. Everything is in me. Surely I'm with you, mighty man of valor. You are mighty, Gideon. You are mighty in person, sister, brother, because your identity is in Yahusha. So Gideon said, okay, let's do it. And Gideon saved Israel through the power of Yahuwah. So if you're feeling invisible, you're feeling unqualified, and your environment is making you feel like you matter, it's okay. Your identity is in Yahuwah, not your environment, not your substance, not because you got an education or you don't got an education. You got a car, you don't got a car. That does not define you. Your substance don't define who you are. Your degree doesn't define who you are. That's what the world tells you. And that's how the world look at you. And that's how the world judge you. And that's why Gideon said, look at me. I'm a poor man and my family's poor and I'm invisible. Nobody knows me. He was basing his worth off material things, substance, money, prestige, clout. That does not define who you are. In fact, it actually hurts you because if you lose it, you lose a part of you. Your identity, my identity is in Yahuwah. Because when we feel like we don't matter, we matter to Yahuwah. Here's another one, Hagar. These are for people who feel rejected, discarded, and thrown away. So to give you the backstory, Abraham, wife Sarah, could not have a child. She wanted a child so bad, she told her husband, Abraham, take my handmaid Hagar and give me a kid. Abraham said, cool. They had a kid. They called the kid Ishmael. So the kid was for his wife, Sarah. Now Sarah feels like I'm a mother. Thank you. So the promise came when Yahuwah told Sarah, you will have a child at the age of 91 years old. It happened. They had a child. They called the child Isaac. Now, Sarah like, I got my own child. I don't need you, Hagar. Abraham, take Hagar and her child and kick them out the house. Whoa. Let that resonate with you. You're in a relationship. You're in a situation and you're giving 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 your all. And when that person need or that situation need is met, there's no more need for you to be around. We good. And you're thrown out like nobody cares. That's pretty cold. That'll make you feel rejected, discarded, thrown away. Something like that can definitely shape your reality of how you see yourself, because now you sit there with questions. How can he do that to me after everything I did? How can he throw me away like I'm nothing? You begin to feel like you don't matter. In fact, that hurt you so much. Rejection is real hard emotion to handle. In Hagar rejection, right? Notice Abraham got up that morning and took some bread and a bottle of water, put it on her shoulders and took her out and said, peace. Bye. After everything she did. So at that time, she's like, you know what? Who want me? Where can I go? I just got thrown out. I feel like nothing. I got a kid here to take care of. I can't take care of the kid. So Hagar sat there and put her kid across her and waited to die. Yeah, exactly. She gave up. She had to sit there and had a conversation with herself and say, I still can't believe they did this to me. Your brain won't allow you to rest if you're in that situation, you feel rejected and thrown away. You can't believe that this has happened. You feel powerless. You begin not liking yourself. You're looking for an answer. What could have been done differently? And you begin to blame yourself because you can't accept the reality that this person just thrown you and your kid out like you're nothing. You can't accept that reality. So your brain is like, it is you. It's you. You could have done more. You said too much. You did too little. It's you. Because you're looking for an answer. Now you feel like I don't matter. Because if I mattered, they wouldn't have done this. I must have done something to make them feel the way they feel. This is my fault. I don't matter. Now you in despair. So when that happened to Hagar, she was in despair. She gave up. Here come Yahuwah. Yahuwah comes and say, hey, no, I heard you. And you can read this story in the book of Genesis chapter 21, verse 17, in the book of Genesis chapter 21, verse 18. He said, no, you and a child get up. Give him some water. I heard you. He said, I'm going to make you, that child, a great nation. What? I just got kicked out of the house. I just lost my job and I gave them everything. And I don't got nowhere to go. I don't got no money. I don't got no food to feed my kid. I don't got nowhere to lay my head. And you talking about I'm going to be a great nation. Yeah, right. Look at me. Look at me. They threw me out like I was nothing. My spouse, my job, my family threw me out like I was nothing. They rejected everything that I said. I'm lost. I'm confused. I don't even want to be here no more. And you telling me I'm going to be a great nation? Yeah. You see, it's when you feel like you don't matter and your situation shape how you mind, it doesn't change how he sees you. And this is key. No matter how you see yourself, no matter the situation, it doesn't change how the Father see you. So Ishmael indeed became a great nation according to the word, in spite of what took place, in spite of Hagar felt like she doesn't matter, in spite of Hagar sat there and waited for them to depart. Here's another story of Leah. When you feel overlooked, unwanted, second choice, when you feel like you're a default person. Now let's look at Leah. Leah's story speaks to the pain of being present but not preferred. You wasn't my first choice. I used you until I felt better. Okay. A job does that all the time in corporate America. And when they use you up and they get their first choice, bye. Or they use you up and they feel better, bye. Make you feel worthless, doesn't it? Make you feel overlooked and unwanted. So this one hits differently because some people know what it feels like to be around people, but still don't feel chosen, respected, wanted, needed. To be in a room where you don't feel valued, to be in a relationship, but not truly love the way you want to be loved, to be seen physically, but not cherished emotionally. You look good, but I don't care how you feel. Leah was given to Jacob, but Leah was not the one Jacob wanted. Jacob wanted Rachel. Leah lived in a shadow of compassion. She knew what it felt like to be tolerated, but not treasured. You see, Leah wanted to be the wife of Jacob, but Jacob wanted Leah's sister, Rachel. So Leah felt rejected. And many people right now, they have a hard time accepting that they're not enough. They accept, I'm just going to stick around. I'm going to do what I can do. I'm going to get you to recognize me, and then you're going to like me. This is the most dangerous state of mind to be in. The most, to me, state of mind. When you are in a position where you feel like you got to prove your worth because that person doesn't choose you. So what happens is you lose self-identity and you align with the person you want to be with. So if that person say, hey, I like your sister because she work out, you going to work out. Hey, I like your sister because she's ambitious, you going to become ambitious. I like your sister because she's smart, you going to become smart. I like your sister because she do this. Whatever your sister do, whatever that person do, because you don't feel chosen, you're going to overcompensate and you're going to be whatever and do whatever. And you're going to like, look at me. You're going to go out of your way, everything you do. And guess what? You still not going to be chosen. You're still not going to be chosen. Now you upset. Now you hurt because I did everything to be seen by this person. And this person don't even recognize me. I'm unwanted. I'm ashamed. I lost sight of me. Who am I? Do anybody want me? You don't want me. And then you begin to go out and look at life. And every time you see somebody, you will compare yourself to that person. Only if I was like that person. Only if I was like that person. Only if I was like that person. You will start to compare yourself and you don't even realize you are comparing yourself, and because you really don't love who you are. People in Hollywood do all this plastic surgery and they just lose their mind. Identity diffusion, feeling unwanted, feeling like the default person, not chosen. So when Leah was in a state of mind, and this is what the Father did, Genesis 29:31. And when Yahuwah saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. So what Yahuwah did is say, you know what? I see what you're going through. I'm going to give you a child, and I'm going to make your sister not have a child because of the affliction of what you're going through. I'm going to bless you. I'm going to bless you and lift you up because you're too busy trying to compare yourself to other people. So let me bless you to show you I love you and I want what's best for you. So I'm going to give you a gift that I want you to cherish. The gift is going to come from me, for you can have a sense of self-worth. This verse is loaded. First, it says Yahuwah saw. Do not miss that. People may overlook you, but the Father sees you. People may compare you, but the Father sees you. People may give their heart to somebody else and make you feel less than, but the Father sees you. And the scripture says Leah was hated. They didn't like her. You out here trying to be like everybody else. You getting on our nerves. Nobody liked her. She didn't matter. Who is she? In that language of the text, that point is clear. She was unloved, unwanted, pushed beneath the one Jacob preferred. Imagine how that affected her identity. Imagine waking up every day knowing that you are not the one he truly wanted. Imagine trying to be enough in an environment where you are constantly compared to others. Imagine what that does to your confidence, to your sense of value, to your inner world. And Leah's own words reveal her pain. After she gave birth, listen to what she said, Genesis 29:32. And Leah conceived and bare a son, and she called his name Reuben. For she said, surely Yahuwah has looked upon my pain. Now, therefore, my husband would love me. You hear that? Now, therefore, my husband would love me. This means she was craving love. She was aching for acceptance. She was hoping that maybe now she would matter. You see what I'm saying? She's doing everything she can to win this man. She's doing everything she can to say, look at me. I am worth loving. I can do it. I'm special. Do you see me? She lost herself. Genesis 29:33. And she conceived again and bare a son and said, because Yahuwah has heard that I was hated, he has therefore given me this son also. Leah knew her pain. She knew when she was not being loved, what she needed to do. She knew what it was to be emotionally overlooked, but the Father kept seeing her, and eventually something shifted in Leah. Genesis 29:35 says, and she conceived again and bare another son. And she said, now I will praise Yahuwah. Therefore, she called his name Judah. That is growth. At first, Leah is saying, maybe now my husband would love me. Later, she comes to a place where her focus shifts to praise Yahuwah. She was doing what she can to gain this man affection. You are doing what you can to gain people affection to look at you. Then you come to a point where you say, you know what? I'm fit to spend more time raising my family. I'm going to spend more time looking at me than looking for the affection of other people, because I know that my Father is with me because he keep blessing me with a job. He keep blessing me with joy. He's blessing me with a family, but I'm too busy trying to gain your attention that I don't see the love of my Father. So I may not matter to you, and I may not matter to him, and I may not matter to her, but I matter to my Father. So I'm going to shift my focus on my Father, Yahuwah, because I matter to him. You see, when you overlooked by other people and you want the affection of other people, they would never see you and love you. You got to take your power back and focus on the one that do love you, which is Yah. And the last one I'm going to talk about for the sake of time, I'm going to paraphrase this. David. King David, before he became king, came from a family of 10. The prophet came to the house and said, hey, I got to anoint somebody king. Bring your boys up. Bring all the kids up. Yahuwah rejected every last one of them. The prophet said, are we missing something? Because Yahuwah rejected all your kids. They said, well, we got David, the sheep bearer. He said, no. Nobody sit down. Nobody eat. Go get David. David comes, was anointed king. David was not even considered by his father. He was not considered by his brothers, but he was considered by Yahuwah. So if people overlook you, if people don't consider you, it doesn't mean the Father don't love you. We cannot base the Father love for us off how other people treat us. We can't do that. We lose sight of ourselves. David never ran around saying, I want to be king. David was the least of his family. He is a sheep bearer, meaning like he didn't have the best job. He was overlooked. He was ruby, kind of got in trouble, little rough around the edges. Nothing can good come out of David. Look at David. Can't nothing good come out of David. Can't nothing good come out of you. Look at your life. Your life is upside down. Look at all the mistakes you made. People don't even respect you. They don't even like you. Can't nothing good come out of you. You can't even get a job, hold down a job. Who are you? And we base our worth off how other people perceive us. But you see, the least of the family became king of Israel. You matter to the Father. I want you to say that. I matter to the Father. Even if nobody else sees it, the Father sees it. Let's talk about brokenness. Now, when you're going through all these things, you are broken. And you know the gift of being broken? The Bible says in the book of Psalms 51:17, a broken spirit and a broken and contrite heart, Yahuwah would not despise. He would not overlook you like other people do. Here's the beauty of broken. A lot of us are broken. And when we are broken, we become vulnerable. The beauty and the pain and the warning when we are in a broken stage. First, acknowledge you're broken. Because when you're in a broken state, hear this. Every decision you make, if it's based off you being in that broken state, it will be based off emotions. Why? Because you're trying to escape pain. You ever had a headache or migraine? I did. I take something for it because I don't want the pain. Give me aspirin, give me ibuprofen, give me whatever you got. I don't want to deal with the pain of this headache, right? When I get my heart broken, I want to rebound right away, right? I want somebody to talk to. I want somebody to numb the pain of my heartbreak, right? That's called an emotional decision. And anytime you make an emotional decision, you only making your pain worse. You may not see it now, but you're only making your pain worse because you don't want to deal with the pain. You want to numb the pain. You want to ignore the pain. You want to take a shortcut. So you only suppress the pain. The pain didn't go nowhere. You only suppressing it because you got other vices that is distracting you. But the thing about making emotional decisions is this: your emotions will change. Yeah. And when your emotions change, pain comes. And now you continue getting vice after vice after vice after vice after vice because you don't want to deal with the pain. You're broken. But a broken spirit and a contrite heart, the Father said, I will not despise. You are in a great position. But because you don't want to deal with the pain, you bounce from relationship to relationship, situationship to situationship, rejection after rejection. And eventually it breaks you to the point where you probably don't make it back. You probably don't make it back. You become bitter. You become resentful. Your happiness, your joy is gone. And then you become a busybody. and you push yourself in your work, you push yourself in your career, and you despise whatever it was that hurt you to the point you don't even see the effects of it. You don't even realize the effects of it because somewhere down the road, you believe you didn't matter. And because you believe you didn't matter, you suffered pain and you didn't want to deal with the pain. You want to take the shortcut and get all these vices to numb the pain. Now, here's the truth. Hurt people do hurt people. And if you have not been healed, because you avoiding healing, you're going to hurt the person you're seeing. And guess what? Your pain will double. Your pain will triple because you haven't been healed from the first situation. You in another one. You got hurt from that one. Now you're dealing with that. You in another one. Now you're dealing with that. You see how much pain you in? Now, let me tell you the beauty of pain. That pain, remember, there's two types of pain. The pain of regret and temporary pain. Let's face the facts. Nobody like pain. I don't like pain. But here's the beauty of pain. Pain is your teacher. Pain shows you you matter. Yeah. Pain elevates you. Pain helps you to see. Pain helps you to hear if you listen to it. So here's the beauty of pain. Let's say you have a kid and you're a parent and your kid is playing with a razor. And you know, parent, your kid will get hurt playing with that razor. So you take the razor away. You try to educate your kid why not to play with this razor. Your kid don't want to listen. Kid says, I'm going to do it. Right? Your kid get the razor and the kid cut himself. Now the kid is in pain. You see? You try to protect your child from getting that pain, but your child didn't want to listen. So that pain corrected the kid. You see how that pain benefit the kid? Now your kid is growing up, say, hey man, don't play with a razor. I did it. And this is what happened. You see how that worked? That's why the Bible says all things work for the good of those that love Yah and that are called according to his purpose. Your pain is your goodness. It may not seem like that now because you are in pain. I get it. And you don't have vision to see or to accept the pain. And you don't know how this pain is going to work. Remember the Karate Kid? Daniel, wax on, wax off. Daniel got mad and said, Miss, I'm trying to learn karate, brother. And I'm over here cleaning your house and I'm painting stuff. Like, what are you doing to me? This is painful. This is embarrassing. And then when he showed Danielson what he was learning through the pain, Daniel embraced it. So a lot of times we don't know what the pain is teaching us because we don't want to accept it. We don't want to listen to what the pain is teaching us. So we go get vices. We go get vices. And that's how the Father says, hey, even though you're in pain, it's for your good if you allow the pain to correct you. Remember the boy that cut himself? You tried to save him from the pain. He didn't want to listen. So the boy cut himself and that pain corrected him for his own good. So don't take that pain that you in and that broken state of mind and think like you got to go get a rebound. Think like you got to bounce back from this. Sit with it. Sit with that pain. Now, let me educate you. This does not mean self-afflicted pain, right? If you're in a relationship and the relationship ends, it happens. If you're at a job and you get laid off or fired, it happens, right? If you're in a situation and you suffer loss, it happens, right? Now, this is self-inflicted pain. Let's say you're in a relationship and you lied to this person, you catfished them, whatever you did. And the relationship kind of kept moving on. And you develop really strong feelings for this person. And you know you should be honest with this person. You know you should come clean with this person. But just like, no, I don't want to deal with that pain. Because if I tell this person the truth, they're going to break my heart. I don't want to deal with that pain. So I'm going to keep this alive going, right? You see how that pain was trying to correct you, but you didn't listen. Now this person find out you lied to him, you catfished them, whatever. It's been 2-3 years down the road, right? Now this person say, you know what, I'm done. You had 2-3 years to tell me the truth, and we could have worked that out. But you sat here this whole time and you didn't tell me the truth. That means you don't have any respect for me. That means you have no regard for how I feel. Therefore, I'm choosing to leave this relationship. Now you are in some serious pain because you love that person. That is not Yahuwah. He will help you. He will deliver you. And that pain will work for your good, right? That's called self-inflicted pain. So what that pain gonna do for your good? Show you not to lie. Because you don't want to go through that pain again, right? So that pain gonna correct you of what you did to lose this good person in your life because you couldn't come clean, because you couldn't be honest. Had multiple chances to be honest, but you chose not to be honest. Therefore, that pain will correct you. You see how the Bible says all things work for the good of those that love Yahuwah and that are called according to his purpose. That pain, even though it's self-inflicted and even though it hurts, work for your good. So don't run from pain. Embrace it. David didn't run from pain. David ran into the wilderness and cried, and he processed. Job lost everything. He endured that pain. Yahusha faced the laying down of his life on the stake. He endured that pain. Joseph was betrayed and in prison, and he endured the process because that pain made them better. That pain shows you matter. So I ain't gonna leave you with this in that state of mind. Let me give you hope. The Bible says, Yahusha says, peace I leave you. My peace I give unto you, not like the world give you. He says, and the peace of Elohim shall keep your hearts and your mind, and all things work for the good of those that love Yahuwah. So you got to understand something. You matter. Don't let your environment show you differently. Don't let that relationship show you differently. Don't let that situation show you differently. Even though you got pain, it still means you matter. Even though you're rejected, it still means you matter. Nothing can change how you see yourself unless you allow it. And if you're in a position where you feel like you don't matter, understand your true identity is in Yahuwah. It is not in the world. That's why he said, peace I give you, not like the world. The world can't give you peace. The world can only give you pain. Peace comes from the Father of peace, and the Father of peace is Yahuwah. You matter, not because people chose you, because he, Yahuwah, chose you. Before they rejected you, Yahuwah accepted you. Before they overlooked you, he saw you. Before you lost yourself, he knew you. So the question is not, do you matter? The question is, do you believe you matter? Because when you believe it, you will walk different, you will choose different, you will live different, and you will never again stay in a place that treat you like you don't matter. So you see the importance of understanding that you matter. Now, the key is this. You can only, had to pick this up. You can only matter to yourself. Stop seeking the approval of people around you. I don't care if it's your mother, your daddy, your sister, your brother. I don't care who it is. Matter to you because you matter to him. And if you find yourself in a position where you're struggling, where you don't matter, be like Leah. Shift your attention off the situation and shift your attention on the Father, because our true identity is only in Yahuwah. We cannot find identity in our job. We can't find identity in a relationship. We can't find identity in substance. We can't find identity in material things. All those things will fail us. All those things will play with our emotions. All those things will make us feel like we did something wrong. It'll make us feel like we don't matter. But Yahuwah said, I will never leave nor forsake you. He will always make you and I feel our voice, our feelings, our presence, our needs matter to him. He will always see greatness in us because he never judged us based on where we at. He never judged us based on what we have. He never judged us based on the situation. So what are you getting? Get understanding and believe you matter. Until next time, we keep Yahusha King.